like always, a lot of credit to Virginia Tech. I told Coach Young, and I just told Hunter Couture this, that like when we're getting ready to play somebody I watch them play a lot. Right? It's just, I love the way how they attack people and how they play and how they get into stuff. And I told him, like, I try and steal as much as I can from him. Like, those two guards are so tough, and they play well, and they're so old, and they set stuff up, and they have such great IQ. Their big guys play off of them. They have shooters around them. They're tough to guard. And I thought in the second half, I thought in the last 2 days, Coach Fairley had done a great job of getting our guys ready, getting them prepared for the game plan. But I thought our guys really followed through with it. And, to give up 39, but to turn around and make a couple of small adjustments and give up 27 in the second half. And they scored a lot late, too. So I don't know what it was, but to hold them in the low 20s, mid-20s for a half is pretty impressive, and just proud of our guys for their effort.
Micah, they tied it, I think, 3 times in the last 16 minutes. What kind of a step was it for your guys to just basically say, yeah, not tonight, we're getting out of here with a win?
Yeah, that just the composure that they showed, right? There were times and I looked out there and I'm like, man, we have 4 freshmen and a 19-year-old sophomore that are out there playing. But I thought, with that, I thought everybody came in and really contributed and did good things for us, right? When JR in the first half, Roper made that big shot. Tate driving the ball, Garden, Zona, but everybody came in, did really big things for us. And we needed every bit of it. But for us to withstand a run, was some resiliency that this team has shown resiliency with how we keep showing up and playing every day. But it was awesome to see the crowd be resilient for us and show up in the way that they did today. And sometimes that really spurs you on when it's tough.
Like you mentioned that run in the middle of the game. I think Virginia Tech went up 11-0. Looked like you weren't thrilled with the defense down there. How were you guys able to respond immediately with the 5-0 run to end the half and then out of halftime?
I think in the first half that we were a step behind kind of in our rotations and a little bit at the point of attack defensively as well. And they were getting deep into the paint. They were also kind of ISOing us a little bit as different screen and stuff was going on. I thought we buckled down and got a little bit better there at the end, and I thought that was a good run for us to close it and get close and then give yourself some hope and then be able to talk about the changes we need to make. But then to do it, then we did it. We came out in the second half and we changed what we needed to. And we got some stops and we scored some baskets and got a little bit of juice, which is what we needed.
Marcus was up here earlier talking about he kind of needed something to do to contribute other than scoring. He's talking about the 6 steals. How have you seen his defensive game grow, and what stood out about that tonight?
He's at the point of attack a lot, and we asked those guys, and I just explained this on the radio. Our pick and roll defense is a 5-man deal, right? It's not the big guy that's doing this. It's not the guard that's doing this. It is the big guy's helping to stop the ball for the guy that's guarding the ball. The guy that's guarding the ball is responsible for the first pass out, right? So he has to have really active hands. And I thought Marcus had really active hands. We got a bunch of deflections early in the game, but we didn't get the ball. And in the second half, we got those deflections, came up with it. And I thought that really kind of spurred us. A lot of that was him. Just, Padula was one of the toughest covers in this league, and he guarded him for much of the game, right, until he got a couple fouls late, and we switched it. But he did a good job of keeping them in front and having active hands, and just his floor game and how he just constantly just kept getting around, finding the right guy, making the right play. As simple as it sounds, it's not. It's tiring when those big dudes are up there hard hedging you and bumping you and hitting you. But he's doing it over and over again, and he's guarding one of the best players on their team. team on the other end.
One turnover only for Marcus too in this environment. I mean, in a comeback situation like that, was that some of the best game control you've seen out of him in a heavily contested game?
Yeah, it is. He really he scored it early, got in the paint, got some pull-up jumpers, and I thought in the second half he really controlled getting around the outside shoulder and finding different guys, kicking to the corners, kicking to the wings. But we talked about it a lot. We talked about our ball movement as a group and how we needed to improve and what we could do. And then we just been slowly but surely hammering away at it. And you just see small signs of it, which is really encouraging.
Micah, a lot of positives on the stats side, especially shooting the ball, less turnovers. You talked about the coaches working in practice. What was the big impetus of a game like this tonight, man?
I think putting kind of everything together. We spent, it's awesome. It's great when we, sometimes we don't practice here because, you only get 2 goals, right? So we spend a lot of time at Rolfs, so you can use multiple goals and you can have different groups working at the same time. In the last couple of weeks, we've taken 25 to 30 minutes of practice at the start and worked in really small groups on some specific things that we can all get better at. That group of guys. And you're starting to see it. You're starting to see it a little bit, right? Attacking closeouts. Now you see JR, now you see Carey attacking closeouts and getting a bucket. We've worked on attacking a closeout to a post up. So now you see Julian Roper turn his back and get into the post and settle down and get a bucket, right? We've worked on finishing. Kevin's not perfect, but he's 4 for 7, right? Those are big, but the time that we take in practice has been really key. And like we said, we want to keep getting better. And I get to see them every day, so I know that they're making steps. Now, to get a win on top of that makes it even more special because I see how hard they're working at. They're listening. They're trying to do and implement what we're talking about.
What was it like walking in that locker room and seeing the looks on the guys' faces? you haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah, I could hear them before I saw them. Right, they had music playing and they were cheering and they were happy and they deserve it, man. They deserve every bit of it, man. I show up because of them. I don't know if this is true, but as we're shaking hands around, Tony was like, "That's the first time we beat Virginia Tech." He said, "That's JR." I don't know if that's true. That'd probably be a question for Josh.
They had a 6-game win streak.
Yeah, so Tony and JR and guys like that, how cool is that for them? That's cool for me to see, and how excited they are for each other is all that matters. And we're going to keep plugging along. We're going to keep trying to get better, but they deserve to come out on top and celebrate. And thank you to all the fans that stuck with us, man, because it was cool to see.
Coach, how do you, build all this? Is the expectation set now that you know these guys can come out here and do what you've been preaching all season long?
Yeah, every game's different, right? I wish we could bottle this and get the same exact thing, right? Maybe the next game we have to win it in a different way. You don't know, but just sticking to the game plan, keep working on the fundamentals, keep doing what we need to do, and do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's what they're doing.
Marcus, what's that feeling like when the clock's running down and you're winning a basketball game for the first time since January 9th?
It means a lot, and like you said, we ain't won since January, so us showing up every single day, busting our butts in practice, getting yelled at by Coach Shrews, working hard every single day just to get the win feeling. And I feel like today we showed the fans that we kept fighting and we were still here. And it means a lot for us to see all the fans filling up the seats, knowing that they still believe in us, knowing that we were still a super young team and we're still learning. It feels good today.
Kevin, what kept this team coming back? Like Marcus said, and even Micah said yesterday, if you keep showing up and you keep doing working and you keep maybe a win's gonna come. Like what's allowed you guys to keep that mindset of let's just keep working because it's eventually gonna pay off?
I mean, we're fighters. I think that's who we are as people. We never give up. So we're going to keep showing up every single day. You know, like, I think that's our motto this year. Like, just to keep showing up every single day, no matter what it looks like. So, like, whether we lose, whether we win, like, we always showing up and doing what we're supposed to.
Was it hard to show up over the last 5 weeks where you're close and then you're close and you're close and it just wasn't happening for you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's really hard to show up, like, especially when you're losing, things ain't going right and you're right there. But, like, I think that was also motivating that we was right there. That was a motivating factor in us showing up as well. So,
Kevin, can you expand? You guys shot better tonight, less turnovers, out-rebounded. What was the difference?
I think it's just like, I think our work is starting to show. We have a really hard-working team, like one of the more harder-working teams that I've been on. Like, everybody's getting in, like, individual workouts and all that. And I feel like, you know, that work is starting to show now on the offensive end. And we're going to still do our best to guard on defense. So,
Marcus, the points is one thing, but 6 steals tonight. How are you able to be that active and involved defensively?
I know going into this, like, a lot of schools, like, a lot of coaches know, like, I can score the ball. So it was things that I had to turn over. Like, Coach Shrews is really big on defense. And coming out of high school, I wasn't really a defender like that because the teams we played in high school weren't really well like that. But, I mean, coming here, like, the defense, he talked to me, like, a lot every day. Like, I'm a defensive guy. Like, I need your best effort. And I feel like when I put my mind to something and I'm willing to do something for the team to sacrifice winning, I feel like today I was able to show that I can really sit down and lock up some of the great players that we played today.
Part of that was on the three-point line.
Yeah.
You held Couture, I think it was 2 for 8 in the second half and 3. What was there a message at halftime, or you just know I can't let him get free again?
He's a really good player, really good player, and I knew if I let him get hot at any point in time, then it was going to be a long game for us. And I was just doing my job, doing what I was told to do, doing what I was supposed to do before we can get this dub today.
Kevin, after Virginia Tech goes on that 11-0 run, you might feel like here we go again. But then I think between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, 14-0 run for you guys. I mean, how important was turning that around, winning those middle 4 minutes?
I mean, that was like one of the things we struggled with, I think, earlier in the season was coming out of halftime and being great. And so I think, like, everybody was more focused during halftime, and we knew what we were supposed to do, but, like, we also knew that they went on a run, and our run is going to come too, because that's what, you know, basketball is a game of runs. And so we just kept fighting and kept digging, and it showed.
Marcus, going back to the defensive aspect, how do you think, like, your confidence has grown this season? Has it been in practice? Has it been going against the other point guards? Like, how has that developed since November?
I think my confidence is starting to come on a lot due to me playing against all these high-level guards, seeing where I'm at when I'm playing these guards, and seeing where my competition level is, and all the guards I played, like, pretty much I'm right there with them. And just the work that I'm putting in off cameras, like, I'm in the gym 24/7, so I mean, it's starting to show. And the defensive part is that's just me, just being locked in and doing what I'm told to do.
Kevin, how do you guys build on this? Just now, let's go get another one and another one and another one. Not be satisfied with, hey, we finally got over the hump.
Right. Nah, absolutely. Like you said, like, we're not going to be satisfied with this win, but, like, we know what it feels like to win now. And so now we just got to keep building on it. And, you know, we're going to do the same thing that we did when we was losing. We're going to keep showing up, and we're going to focus on our scout and get ready for the next one. So,
Marcus, I think you started like 2 for 11 tonight. You mentioned locking in. Like, how are you able to stay focused, stay locked in, even turn up a notch as the game went down the stretch?
Yeah, I knew, like, coming into this, it was like Virginia Tech. They knew, like, I was a really good scorer, and I felt like some of my shots were rushed, but I mean, some of them were also me just missing layups, missing bunnies, like shots, close shots, not me just locked in. But I mean, second half I kind of locked in, and like you guys said, like I found something else to do besides scoring, and scoring is not always going to be there, and I also had to find something else for me to help my team win. So I feel like the defense was really good for me today.
This is for both of you guys. You also had 14 assists today. You guys averaged about 9, but being able to find an open man and make the open shots. How big was that today? Coach talked about that yesterday, being able to just get work around the hard hitters off the screen, off the pick and roll that they.
I mean, like, Coach preached it a lot. Like, after the Duke game, we didn't have a lot of we didn't have a lot of assists. And in practice, like, we know, like, when we break down somebody and get past them, somebody's open because the other man is out. He's out of the picture. So, I mean, we took our time. We didn't rush. We didn't turn the ball over. And we found the open man every single time we were supposed to.
And then looking at this game, does this raise the expectations for the team moving forward? You know, knowing that you guys can compete like this and put up 70-plus points and then still hold your opponents around that 65, average that you guys have been doing defensively.
I don't think so, honestly. I think everyone in the ACC knows that Notre Dame basketball, like, they can play. But I also feel like we all have an edge because we want it more than anybody. So, I mean, we're going to continue to show up and fight every single day.